We've all heard it. Some people are just born creative. They're the ones who can sketch a portrait on a napkin, compose a melody in their head, or turn an ordinary story into a gripping performance. But here's the question. Is creativity a gift or a skill? Can it be taught in schools, trained like a muscle, or is it reserved for the lucky few born with the spark? Today we'll dive into history, psychology, education, and real-world case studies to tackle this deceptively simple question: can creativity be taught? First, let's explore what we mean by creativity. Before we even answer the question, we need to define our terms. Creativity is often misunderstood as artistic talent, painting, music, poetry. But psychologists define it more broadly: the ability to produce ideas that are both novel and useful. A new smartphone app that solves a problem? Creative. A scientist connecting two fields in an unexpected way? Creative. A child turning a cardboard box into a spaceship? Creative. Psychologist J.P. Guilford in the 1950s broke creativity down into measurable components: divergent thinking, fluency of ideas, flexibility, and originality. That gave researchers a way to actually test creativity. So when we ask, can creativity be taught? We're really asking, can divergent thinking, flexibility, originality, and problem solving be nurtured in people who don't naturally lean that way? Now, let's talk about the born creative myth. For centuries, the dominant belief was that creativity is innate, bestowed by the muses, God, or sheer talent. Think of the phrase gifted artist. But history complicates this myth. Mozart is often portrayed as a child prodigy, but what's left out is that his father, Leopold Mozart, was a respected composer and teacher who drilled young Wolfgang relentlessly. His gift was also training plus environment. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't just born brilliant. He filled thousands of pages of notebooks with studies, sketches, and experiments. He taught himself anatomy, engineering, and optics through obsessive practice. Even Picasso, who seemed naturally gifted, trained rigorously in classical art from childhood. His radical modernist style didn't appear out of thin air. It was built on decades of study. The myth of the born genius ignores the thousands of hours of deliberate practice and the systems around them that made their genius possible. So maybe creativity isn't a gift given to a few. It's a potential seed in everyone, waiting for the right conditions to grow. Now, we're going to find out what science says about teaching creativity. Modern psychology and education research have tested this directly. Can creativity training work? 1. Divergent thinking. Training studies show you can teach people to think divergently. For example, Torrance's creative thinking tests, like finding as many uses as possible for a paperclip, improve with practice. Students trained in brainstorming techniques generate more and better ideas than untrained students. 2. Osborne-Perens creative problem solving. CIS? This method, developed in the mid-20th century, involves structured steps: fact-finding, idea-finding, solution-finding. Meta-analyses show CPS programs can significantly boost creative performance across disciplines. 3. Arts integration in schools. Research in education shows that schools which integrate arts, music, drama, visual arts into the broader curriculum see improvements in creative thinking, problem solving, and engagement across subjects, not just in the arts. 4. Mindset matters. Psychologist Carol Dweck's work on growth mindset applies here. If students believe creativity is a fixed trait, they give up quickly. If they believe it's a skill that can be developed, they try harder and improve. Key takeaway from science: structured programs, deliberate practice, and mindset do increase creativity. But here's the catch. Even with training, environment plays a massive role. Think of creativity as a flame. Training is like teaching someone how to strike the match. But environment is the oxygen. Without it, the flame dies. 1. Encouragement versus fear. In classrooms or companies where people fear judgment, ideas shrink. In supportive environments, ideas flourish. 2. Diversity of input. Exposure to different cultures, fields, and experiences feeds creativity. Cross-disciplinary environments often produce breakthrough ideas. 3. Freedom and constraints. Too much freedom can be paralyzing. Too many constraints can suffocate. The sweet spot, clear goals with enough freedom to explore, is where creativity thrives. Case study. DEO, the legendary design firm, structures its environment around creativity. Teams are cross-disciplinary. Brainstorming rules ban criticism during idea generation. The company culture teaches people not just to have ideas, but to feel safe sharing them. So yes, creativity can be taught, but it must be taught inside an ecosystem that supports risk-taking and diversity. Of course, not everyone agrees. There are strong counterarguments. Argument 1. Technique not equal to creativity. Teaching brainstorming or divergent thinking might improve test scores, but is that the same as producing original art or groundbreaking science? Some argue creativity can't be reduced to techniques. It's about insight, intuition, and originality that can't be manufactured. Argument 2. Individual differences. Not everyone responds to creativity training equally. Some people are naturally more curious, risk-taking, or comfortable with ambiguity. Training may amplify creativity in those inclined toward it, but won't turn everyone into a Da Vinci. Argument 3. Measurement problems. Creativity is notoriously hard to measure. Is a bizarre idea always creative, or only when it's useful? Without clear metrics, it's difficult to say whether teaching worked. So while training improves certain skills associated with creativity, whether it produces the next. Shakespeare is another story. Now, I want to explore the important historical experiments in teaching creativity. The first one is the Bauhaus School, Germany, early 20th century. The Bauhaus was radical. Instead of teaching only technical skills, it emphasized play, experimentation, and cross-disciplinary collaboration. Students were pushed to merge art, design, and craft. The result? A wave of modernist innovation that shaped architecture and design globally. Montessori education. Maria Montessori's system encourages exploration, autonomy, and hands-on learning from an early age. Studies suggest Montessori students often score higher in creative problem solving than peers in traditional schools. Modern corporate training. Companies like Google and Pixar actively teach creativity. Google's 20% time policy encouraged employees to spend part of their week on side projects, leading to products like Gmail. Pixar trains staff in improvisation and storytelling to keep ideas fresh. These examples show when creativity is intentionally taught, nurtured, and valued, it produces world-changing results. Here's a modern twist. With AI tools generating music, art, and writing, skeptics argue, why teach creativity if machines can do it faster? But AI changes the question. Instead of replacing human creativity, AI shifts the role from creator as maker to creator as curator, guide, and visionary. Teaching creativity now means teaching. 1. How to ask better questions. 2. How to combine AI output with human judgment. 3. How to inject empathy, story, and meaning, things machines struggle with. So yes, creativity can and must be taught because the future of work depends on creative humans directing powerful tools. If you're watching and thinking, Okay, but what does this mean for me? Here's the toolkit. Teach divergent thinking. Try the 30 circles test. Draw 30 circles on a page. In 3 minutes, turn as many circles as possible into different objects. This trains fluency and flexibility. Teach problem. Redefinition. Instead of solving the first version of a problem, practice asking, what's another way to frame this? Creativity often comes from reframing. Cross-pollinate. Study outside your field. Engineers taking improv classes, writers studying physics. New inputs fuel novel outputs. Safe to fail spaces. Create environments where failure isn't punished but mined for insights. This can be classrooms, offices, or even personal projects. Model curiosity. Leaders and teachers can model curiosity by asking questions, experimenting, and showing their own learning process. Creativity is contagious. So, can creativity be taught? Yes, in the sense that creative skills, divergent thinking, problem solving, openness can be developed through training, mindset, and environment. No, if you define creativity narrowly as producing the next Mozart or Picasso, training can't guarantee genius. But the bigger truth is this: everyone has creative potential. Not everyone will be a revolutionary artist, but everyone can be more flexible, more imaginative, and more original with the right tools and mindset. Creativity isn't a rare gift, it's a human birthright. And yes, it can be taught. So next time someone says, "I'm just not creative," you'll know that's a myth. With the right environment, techniques, and practice, creativity isn't just for the chosen few, it's for everyone. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who insists they don't have a creative bone in their body. Spoiler, they do. They just need to learn how to use it.